We're about 20 seconds away from the 10 o'clock news. Good evening, I'm Shauna Parsons.
And I'm Kurt Ludlow. More terrorist attacks are possible this week, and the FBI wants Americans on high alert. Tonight, what you need to watch out for.
Carving pumpkins is as much a part of Halloween as costumes and candy. Ever wonder how it became a tradition? A little Halloween history coming up next.
Live, Kurt Ludlow, Shauna Parsons, meteorologist Rod Hill, and Tim Becker Sports. This is the 10 o'clock news.
Good evening. Another case of suspected anthrax in New York tonight.
About an hour ago, Mayor Rudolph Giuliani announced the latest possible victim, a hospital worker. Skip Lozier live in Washington now.
A possible case of inhaled anthrax in New York City. A 61-year-old Manhattan hospital worker, Mayor Giuliani describing her condition as very, very serious. And there is other troubling news. They don't know where, but the Attorney General and the FBI are warning that another terrorist attack may happen in the United States within a week.
The administration views this information as credible, but unfortunately it does not contain specific information as to the type of attack or specific targets.
The president met with his Homeland Security Council Monday, forming a task force to watch what immigrants and foreign students do.
We're going to be very diligent with our visas and observant with the behavior of people who come to this country.
In New Jersey, authorities puzzle over another case of anthrax.
We've learned today that a confirmed case of cutaneous anthrax has been identified in a Hamilton Square woman whose occupation is not directly linked to the mail delivery system.
Mailrooms in several government buildings in Washington remain closed Monday night. Small quantities of anthrax have been found at the State Department, the Supreme Court, and a building housing the Department of Health and Human Services. The Hart Senate office building also remains closed, but the Environmental Protection Agency has found a way it thinks will kill the anthrax there: chlorine dioxide gas.
It'll take that spore that's now a hard ball and essentially make a wiffle ball out of it, so it can no longer germinate.
Officials say it is likely to be mid-November before the Hart building can be reopened. Overseas, U.S.-led planes pounding Taliban positions in both northern and southern Afghanistan. We're live in Washington. I'm Skip Lozier. Back to you.
All right, Skip, thank you.
Today's warning of possible terrorist attacks has Oregon's emergency response agencies on alert tonight.
KPTV's Anna Katayama joins us now live from News Control with more on that. Anna?
Well, Kurt and Shanna, this is the second alert issued by the federal government since the September 11th attacks. And we're told that this second warning is based on information the FBI has received since the first warning went out earlier this month. From the heightened security at Portland International Airport to beefed up patrols at Bonneville Dam, local law enforcement is already on alert. Then comes today's warning.
The administration has concluded, based on information developed, that there may be additional terrorist attacks within the United States and against United States interests over the next week.
Attorney General John Ashcroft and FBI Director Robert Mueller are asking Americans to keep an eye out for anything suspicious and to report possible threats.
There's no specific information as to when it may happen, where it may happen, or how it may happen. Again, we just want people to be alert.
On the streets of Portland, the lack of specifics attracts skepticism.
It doesn't serve the public interest, just creates a heightened fear, if you will, or anxiety. That may be unnecessary.
I think we're kind of torn between wanting to believe that, yes, they're looking out for our best interest, and no, they're just perpetuating another fear. If they keep monitoring it, so to speak, and making sure that something is going on, then people will be behind the president and they'll keep supporting the war.
Government leaders say they don't want to incite panic, but at the same time warn against complacency.
There is no reason for a success on the part of the American people in forestalling or otherwise delaying or interrupting terrorism, for that to lull them into a false sense of indifference.
Now, if you do come across something suspicious, the FBI has provided a local phone number for you to call. It's at the bottom of your screen now, 503-224-4181. This phone line will be staffed around the clock so you can call anytime and your reports will get immediate attention. If you do have an emergency situation, though, the FBI wants us to make clear that you should call 911 first and then call the FBI. Kurt and Shauna, back to you.
KPTV's Anna Katayama, thanks.
Well, here is the latest on America's new war. Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld says the U.S. military is moving into the next sustained phase of the war against terrorism.
Also, President Bush says he's sticking to his current strategy in Afghanistan despite calls from some for a large force of U.S. ground troops. The Taliban ambassador to Pakistan says the U.S. military has committed genocide in Afghanistan. President Bush tells his staff to study tightening up the foreign student visa system, hoping to keep out people who commit or support terrorism. The FBI is going to include local law enforcement officials in the war against terrorism. Airlines are comparing the names of passengers against lists of terror suspects. Roughly 750,000 airport and airline employees are also being checked. And an investigation is underway tonight into a reported threat that forced an American Airlines flight from New York to Dallas to make an unscheduled stop at Dulles Airport near Washington. A bomb threat was written on a note found on board. Passengers used emergency slides to exit. Congress is worried the nation's food supply could be the next target of terrorists, so it's considering increasing inspections. Food was used as a weapon back in the 1980s when the Rajneeshis poisoned some Oregon salad bars with salmonella bacteria. Experts say potential terrorist targets include fruits and vegetables that people eat raw. The FDA wants to hire hundreds more people to inspect produce, especially imported produce.
15 Afghan refugees have been deported back to Afghanistan by Pakistani authorities. Police say they face charges in connection with the violent demonstrations which took place there earlier this month. They're calling the deportations a warning.
This will send a strong message to others that if anybody tries to take law into their hands, then they will be dealt with severely.
Authorities say Afghan refugees are responsible for most of the violent anti-American demonstrations in Quetta and its surrounding areas.
Palestinian President Yasser Arafat is in Italy to brief Pope John Paul II and other Italian leaders on the situation in the Mideast. He is expected to talk about recent flare-ups of violence in Bethlehem and other Holy Land sites. Arafat arrived in Italy as Israel withdrew its last troops from Bethlehem and a nearby town. Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon ordered his forces out in what is meant to be the first step in a gradual pullback from Palestinian-ruled territory. Arafat said he hopes that Israel's withdrawal will help get peace back on track.
And this has been done, although they had tried not to do it, but there was a very important pressure from the Americans, from the Europeans, from the Russians, and from the United Nations. And I hope that they will continue what had been agreed upon and what had been decided from all the Palestinian cities and towns and villages and areas.
Israel said a withdrawal from other Palestinian areas would depend on whether Israeli security demands were met.
For the first time since September 11th, visitors can go up to the Sears Tower sky deck. Former President George Bush joined Chicago Mayor Richard Daley for the reopening ceremony. As expected, security was extremely tight. The 103rd floor observation deck has been closed since September 11th.
I think the most impressive thing about the Sears Tower is what you see when you get to the top of this wonderful building. And from this beautiful sky deck, on a clear day, you can see Chicago, its beautiful communities and surrounding areas, as well as Indiana and Michigan. Spread out before you are the fruits of American technology, the energy, and the American know-how.
The Sears Tower is the nation's tallest building. It is 110 stories high. Well, October is winding down, and of course, as you know, the rain has really picked up.
And we're wondering whether it's enough to catch us back up, to keep us on track as we begin our new water year. Meteorologist Rod Hill is out on the weather deck. All right, Rod, how much rain did we get today?
Well, here's a look at the metro area, and as you know, it was fairly light. In fact, a drizzle much of the day, so these totals really aren't anything to write home about. But I think we will see higher totals tomorrow. Troutdale, 0.20 inches. There was more on the east side of town today, down in Aurora, 0.23. The downtown area 0.12, and barely anything in the rain gauge up at Scappoose. They only picked up 0.02 inches. But here's where we stand for October thus far, and of course the new water year, which began the 1st of this month. Back on Saturday, by the way, we picked up just shy of a half of an inch, so that really helps. So far this month, 2.16. We're still in the departure category, about a quarter of an inch. But with more rain expected tomorrow, my October forecast is now that we will end the month at 2.70 inches. And average October is just shy of that at 2.67, so perhaps things will be looking good. But Kurt and Shauna, you may remember that last year, October was actually above normal in the rainfall department, and it didn't really help us, did it? So we'll have to see how things work out.
All right, Rod, thank you.
Coming up, jack-o'-lanterns are orange, they glow in the dark, and they are scary. But just where and when did this Halloween tradition come from? The spooktacular story is just ahead.
Also, don't worry if your prescription medicine talks back to you. We'll show you how modern technology is making it safer to take your pills.
Plus, the government proposes a takeover of airline security. We'll tell you how this might affect your travel plans and your price of your airline ticket when the 10 o'clock news returns.
This story is for listeners on the edge of cutting music technology. Apple Computer is hoping to excite music fans with new digital music player that's no bigger than a deck of cards. But you can't have as much fun.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm still trying to figure out how to program my VCR.
Kimberly, the good thing about your VCR, it shows the correct time twice a day.
Watch Good Day Oregon tomorrow.
Okay, who enjoys going to the dentist?
Well, at Gentech, you'll find gentle techniques like no needle, no drill fillings. And your satisfaction is guaranteed, or your first visit is free.
Maybe now people will like the dentist.
Before you buy home electronics anywhere else, check out the Brandtastic half-yearly sale at Fred Meyer. Save on the brands you trust. TVs, DVD players, camcorders, personal CD players, and more. Like a Panasonic 27-inch color TV with remote for just $299. Plus, when you buy it, get a $20 gift card. The Brandtastic Home Electronics Sale. You'll find it at Fred Meyer.
It's the peace of mind that comes with a 4-year, 50,000-mile bumper-to-bumper limited warranty and complimentary scheduled maintenance. But most of all, it's the peace of mind that comes with knowing it will never be mistaken for anything else on the road. The Jaguar S-Type. Lease one for just $499 a month.
The $499 Jaguar lease from Monty Shelton Motors, 16th and West Princeton.
It's time to rake in the savings from AT&T Broadband. Get up to 200 channels, including Showtime and Starz, plus free installation and over $100 in savings. Enjoy great TV this fall with a pile of cable favorites, all your local channels, and our handy on-screen guide. Plus, premium entertainment with extra channels of Showtime and multiple channels of Starz. Call 1-800-CABLE-ME now. Get up to 200 channels and save over $100. Hurry, call now.
Okay, who enjoys going to the dentist?
Well, at Gentech, you'll find gentle techniques like no needle, no drill fillings. And your satisfaction is guaranteed, or your first visit is free.
Maybe now people will like the dentist.
She died of a freak lightning strike?
Coincidence?
In Roswell, there are no coincidences.
An all-new Roswell, Tuesday night at 9 on Oregon's 12. You're watching the 10 o'clock news.
Welcome back. Congress is trying to pass a bill that would make airports safer for everyone. That includes making security screeners federal employees.
All that extra security at the airport may cost you more, a ticket surcharge that could be added to your ticket price. KPTV's Monica Guzza reports.
More than 2 weeks ago, the Senate unanimously passed new aviation security legislation, but it has yet to get to the House of Representatives for a vote.
The laws need to be changed and tightened to give us the best security that money can buy. We've been buying security on the cheap for far, far too long.
This aviation security bill includes provisions to increase the Sky Marshal program, decrease the number of carry-on bags, and federalize airport screeners. This last point is the biggest problem with getting the bill passed.
We know that the current screening system is failing us miserably. We know that they're employing known felons. We know they have a 120% rate of turnover, up to 400% at some airports.
By making screeners federal employees, they will be more closely monitored, better trained, and paid enough to make a career of it. This bill is scheduled to go to the House for a vote next week. If Congress passes this bill, it will cost money. Approximately $5 added to the price of a round-trip ticket. Are passengers willing to pay extra?
How much money do you spend it daily going to a restaurant, having something to eat, whatever? $5 for safety as you're flying across the country is easily worth it.
Yeah, I think $5 is worth my life.
At the Portland International Airport, Monica Guzza, the 10 o'clock news.
Passengers aren't the only ones to have to pay if this bill passes. The airline industry and the federal government will pitch in to help pay the nearly $9.5 billion tab. United Airlines has replaced its chairman and chief executive. James Goodwin is being ousted in hopes of regaining investor, passenger, and employee confidence. Board member John Creighton will replace Goodwin temporarily. United stock took a big hit 2 weeks ago after Goodwin announced that the airline could go out of business sometime next year.
The tourism industry has taken a huge hit since the attacks, but the Bush administration is trying to change that. The Tourism Policy Council has been dormant for a long time, but the administration is bringing it back in an attempt to restore jobs and boost revenues. In Washington, D.C., the tourism industry says it is losing millions a day, and it's the same in New York City.
Since September 11th, we've lost about $300 million in visitor spending. We've lost about 16,000 jobs. It's a terrible loss.
Tourism accounted for almost $25 billion of New York's economy last year. The cities are doing what they can. Entertainers are pitching in to help lure travelers back to New York. And in Washington, hotels and restaurants are slashing prices.
Travel agents are encouraging holiday travelers to start buying tickets now. Some airlines are offering fares ranging between $34 and $89 each way, and many of the fares are good through the holiday season. Prices will vary, of course, depending on where you want to go and when, but agents say the deals are out there.
Another group hit by the slow economy, the Special Olympics. Special Olympics Oregon is downsizing programs and operations all across our state. It will affect more than 4,000 people with mental retardation who benefit from Special Olympic programs. Special Olympics Oregon does not receive any government funding. It relies on community and corporate support.
Not a lot of support today on Wall Street. Heavy losses today on both major markets. The mood was set as investors sold off shares of Boeing. The company lost a huge military contract last week. Also moving the market, General Motors sells its satellite business Hughes Electronics. EchoStar is buying Hughes and its DirecTV unit. The deal creates the biggest satellite subscription service in the U.S. Let's go to the numbers now. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 275 to close at 9,269. The Nasdaq fell 69 points to 1699. Northwest stocks also hit by the free fall today. Microsoft fell 2.5 points to 59.64. Hewlett-Packard lost close to a half point, 17.40. Nike lost 79 cents to finish the day at 48.85 a share. Nordstrom down more than a half point, 14.90. Washington Mutual, one of the few Northwest stocks to close up, 23 cents to $31 a share.
If you're a Northwest Natural Gas or Portland General Electric customer, you'll be spending more money to heat your home this winter. Residential PGE customers can expect to see their bills increase by 33%. That will cost bill payers an average of $18 a month. And people who use natural gas will see an increase of about $12 a month. Rates for PGE business customers will increase by about 50%.
2 Oregon high schools were ransacked by vandals over the weekend. It happened at Astoria and Napa high schools. Nearly all of the classrooms and an office at Napa High School were vandalized. The vandals also went through the principal's office and the school superintendent's office. At Astoria High School, they broke windows, tipped over soft drink machines, and broke into locked files in the counselor's office. Astoria High's principal says it looks like they were looking for something. Custodians discovered the damage in both schools.
A Portland woman is in critical condition tonight with severe head injuries. Police found her and the body of a man this morning in a southeast Portland home. They're not releasing many details about the case so far, but police do say they received an incomplete 911 call at about 11:30 this morning. When they arrived at the house on the 3300 block of Southeast 118th Avenue, they found the man and woman inside.
Police arrived and found the body of a male and a severely injured female at the residence. At this time, the female has been transported to the hospital, and the male will be transported to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy.
The identities of the man and the woman have not yet been released.
2 inmates who escaped from a minimum security prison camp near Sheridan last Thursday are still on the run tonight. Police are still searching for 59-year-old James Denton and 36-year-old Brian Caskey. The pair were discovered missing during an evening head count. Both men were serving sentences for conspiracy to grow marijuana. Authorities have not said how the men escaped.
If you live in Vancouver, you might want to consider sharing your morning commute with a friend. Today, Washington's first high-occupancy vehicle, or HOV lane, outside of Seattle opened in Vancouver. The carpool lane stretches for 4 miles along I-5 southbound. The lane will operate during the weekday morning commute between the hours of 6 and 9, and it will operate as a regular traffic lane during all other times. So tonight, we'd like to know, do HOV lanes encourage you to carpool? That's tonight's 12 Talkback online poll question. Log on to our website, Oregons12.tv, and see results on tomorrow's 10 o'clock news.
The 30th floor of the U.S. Bancorp Tower will once again be home to a restaurant with a view. The space that was once Atwater's Bar and Grill will be Portland-based Pacific Coast Restaurant's newest project. Construction has begun now on the restaurant, which hasn't been named yet. Pacific Coast operates the Newport Bay, Stanford's, and Portland Steak and Chop House.
On the eve of their first game, the Blazers have made their final cuts.
Yeah, they made a trade today. Tim Becker's here with an update on the team's latest moves.
Got to get that roster down to 15, 12 active, 3 on the injured list, and some guys mysteriously get hurt.
Yeah, they do.
overnight.
Oh, yeah.
They can get on that list. Meantime, looking to trim their roster, the Blazers traded veteran center Will Perdue to the L.A. Clippers today for the rights to a guy named Deron Sheffer. Sheffer was drafted by the Clippers in 1996 after playing 3 years of college ball for Connecticut, but has yet to play in the NBA because he took his career to Israel. The Blazers also released Johnny Taylor and Priest Lauderdale today. Well, that means everyone else who was in camp still has a job. We pretty much knew guard Steve Kerr would make the team, but that doesn't change the fact that he came here as just sort of a throw-in, part of the Derek Anderson deal. But after hitting 19 of his 31 shots in 7 games, he is a lock to be their main outside threat.
I fit in pretty well, and I think I can fill a void on this team. I mean, it's not a great perimeter shooting team, and so that's obviously my strength, and that's an area that I think I can contribute. And, yeah, I mean, I still know that I was a throw-in on the trade, but I also think I can help.
So Kerr will be there tomorrow against L.A. For Hot Shots, we take you back to Friday night, halftime of the Hillsboro-Beaverton football game. Hill High senior Miguel Cholula laced up his lucky kicking shoes, knowing that if he could make a 25-yard field goal, he'd win a $2,500 scholarship. He kicked plenty of soccer balls before, but never, ever a football. Close, wasn't it, gang? But it was good, and what a way to kickstart a college education. Miguel won actually a school raffle and a $1,000 scholarship instantly from the folks at Beeline Glass in Hillsboro.
I was gonna miss it, so I'm happy, excited.
Happy and excited. As I said, he won a $1,000 scholarship by winning the school raffle. And then, of course, if he made that field goal, he would get the extra $1,500 from the folks at Beeline Glass in Hillsboro. And it's the second year they've done this, and they just love it.
Great.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That was great to see, Tim. Thank you.
Coming up, here's something unusual. Meteorologist Rod Hill. Wait, no, I need to read past it. Here's something unusual, period. Meteorologist Rod Hill says most of the West Coast is covered in clouds and rain tonight. He'll tell us how much more rain we can expect in the pinpoint forecast.
He's someone unusual, I think. Also, you've heard a lot about special op forces, but who are these secretive men and women in the war against terrorism? We take a closer look coming up.
Plus, medication that talks to you. The latest advances in prescription medicine bottling next in HealthCast.
Tomorrow night at 10, a struggling economy, rising unemployment. Is the slowdown trickling down to the housing market? A look at home sales in Oregon tomorrow on the 10 o'clock news.
Time to get a wireless phone. Save now at Car Toys pre-Thanksgiving wireless sale. Compare all the best wireless deals in one place. But when it's over, it's over. Don't miss Car Toys pre-Thanksgiving wireless sale.
Car Toys. Better way to go.
Hi, we're Mike and Amy in the morning.
With more free birthday money from 99.5 KWJJ.
This Thursday morning, You could win $10,000 if your birthday matches the one in this envelope.
And it's so very easy. Just put your radio on KWJJ.
That's 99.5 FM.
Listen 7:20 Thursday morning for your chance to win. Here, hold this for a second. $10,000.
Somebody's going to win 10 grand Thursday morning at 7:20 on 99.5 KWJJ.
Couldn't we give away something lighter?
Sure, how about a t-shirt?
Oh!
Here come the Hawks!
Get ready for an action-packed hockey weekend. Friday, Portland meets Spokane. Saturday, it's Portland versus Brandon. Both games at 7 p.m. in the Coliseum. Get tickets at Ticketmaster for all the action with your Portland Winterhawks.
Not sure how many pills to take? Maybe you're having trouble reading the small print. No worries, now there's a label that literally tells you what to do. See how it works coming up.
It's a good day when I get to go to the woods and have all the trees growing and the wildlife that you see and that sort of thing. We've got 8-year-old trees, 15-year-old trees, and 60-year-old trees. We've got all kinds of wildlife out here. Having a diverse set of ages of trees gives you a diverse set of wildlife. Last week I saw 26 elk out here. It's the most exciting thing I do is to bring people out here and show them. What I tell them is come see it, you'll like it.
Skiers, Subaru's Ski Fever and Snowboard Show is back at the Portland Expo Center this Friday through Sunday. Don't miss Subaru's Ski Fever and Snowboard Show. Skiers, Subaru's Ski Fever and Snowboard Show, presented by the Oregonian, is this Friday through Sunday at the Expo Center. Save up to 70% on ski and snowboard equipment from U.S. Outdoor, Bob's, Hillcrest, The Mountain Shop, and more. See what's new from Rosignol, Solomon, K2, and others. Enter to win an Alaska Airlines vacation ski trip. Watch the Pepsi Street Course and other great features. Get a 2-for-1 lift ticket to Timberline, Mount Hood Ski Bowl, and more. Don't miss Portland's only ski show, Subaru Ski Fever and Snowboard Show, this Friday through Sunday at the Expo Center.
In tonight's HealthCast, taking medicine in the 21st century. Imagine your prescription bottle talking to you, telling you how many pills to take and when to take them, along with any special instructions. With more than 10 million visually impaired Americans and millions more who can't read, a talking prescription could be a lifesaver. For someone like Esther Knapp, keeping prescription medication instructions straight is challenging, given her declining vision and the sheer volume of medicines she takes.
That's 23 different prescriptions, a total of 38 pills a day.
So all you do is press this button right in the middle.
Patient John Q. Public. Drug name aspirin 325 milligrams tablet.
The hope is that this device could prove useful in helping people like Esther take their medicines in the safest and most effective way.
Refills remaining. 2. Warning. Take with food or milk.
This is Script Talk, a new audio device that can be programmed to read everything written on a prescription label. Using a special printer, the pharmacist creates a label with a microchip embedded in it. A small antenna in the label sends the signal from the microchip to the box that reads and speaks the information on the label. The volume and pitch of the digital voice is adjustable.
I'm all for that, talking, for it to tell you what to do.
Though preliminary testing of Script Talk at a veterans hospital yielded encouraging results, optometrist and doctor of pharmacy Bruce Gaines plans the first large-scale study with seniors living independently. Some of them will use the Script Talk, others a conventional prescription label.
We will organize with their primary care physician to track how they utilize their medication. This will be over a 6-month, probably a 12-month period. Maybe even longer, to see what effect the group that has the device, how they utilize their medication in comparison to a group that does not have this type of device.
Now, the Script Talk system costs about $250 for the talking box, $1,700 for the special printer, and just under $2 per microchip label. But Dr. Gaines says if research confirms the system reduces medication errors, the savings in fewer deaths, hospitalizations, and other care related to those errors could well justify the cost of the system.
Here's meteorologist Rod Hill. A little foggy out there tonight, I noticed.
Yes, and we start with a picture of the West Hills at about 4:30 this afternoon. We talk about why that fog was there.
We're curious.
Stay tuned. We'll get to that. Take a look at these pictures again along the West Hills at about 4:30. And Boy, this was the scene all day long, wasn't it? The low clouds, the fog, and the drizzle, and at times some light rain. A very classic look from what occurs when you get a warm air advection flow. And we'll talk about that a little bit right now. Remember last night it was clear at times, and it got down pretty chilly at the airport this morning. It was 38 degrees. So we start today with this big cool air bubble in place at the surface. As the day went on, our weather pattern coming up from the southwest really started to bring up a very warm, very moist flow from our south. And when you have this type of flow, that warm, moist air moves in, it's very rapidly cooled. When it ran into that cool bubble that we had, that produces condensation. That changes any water vapor, which is a gas, back to water droplets and produces the fog and the low clouds near the surface, gives you the drizzle and the light rain all day long, and that's exactly what has happened. And this warm push is still going on. In fact, the temperature outside right now at 49 degrees is actually the warm temperature for the day thus far. Most of the afternoon, we were at 47, 48 degrees. The entire state getting caught up in what has become a very wet, moist flow for us, and we do expect to get more rain tomorrow. In fact, rain totals in some areas of our state could easily be doubled from what we had today. The totals were kind of low today because much of the time it was just drizzle. Northwest radar tonight, not much happening. This is mostly light, but there's a bigger push coming out of California now, trying to enter the southwestern corner of our state. Newport's seeing their rain pick up a little bit at this hour. Generally, if you go out in the next couple of hours, it'll be mostly drizzle here in the Portland area. But later tonight and going into tomorrow morning, we should get into more of a solid rain flow. And in fact, a rainfall that could produce about a ½ inch of rain for most of us here in the Rose City through the day tomorrow, with the heaviest of that being in the morning hours, and then lighter amounts expected tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. This afternoon, only 48. Again, we're at 49 right now, so it's actually still warming. 53 degrees in Newport. Pendleton was at 46. Burns was at 60, and Ontario was at 61 degrees. Our rain outlook for tomorrow. Take a look at this. As I mentioned, the heaviest rain will be in the morning hours. And I may be trying to outdo myself, so I may get burned a little bit, but there's reason to believe that there should be a dry window develop between about 3 and 9 o'clock. So late tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours, look for the potential for some dry weather. Rainfall amounts about a ½ inch, I think, for Portland tomorrow, 0.40. Less to the west and perhaps higher amounts to the east. Computer models are saying Troutdale tomorrow could pick up about 3/4 inch, so that would be nice. Now, Julie, if we can go to the current conditions. I'm getting things a little out of order here, I know, but outside right now we do have cloudy skies, some drizzle in the area, 49 degrees, dew points at 47. Barometer is currently falling, and the winds are southeast at 9 miles per hour. Boy, the satellite picture is impressive. Take a look at it. Lots and lots of clouds. Look at these. This is what's been coming up and feeding into us all day, that what I call a warm air advection flow. All of the west coast, for the most part, are being covered. Here comes our next cold front. Notice how these clouds go south. These clouds are curling up to the north. So this system's kind of breaking. Won't get a lot out of it. But here's the rain for tomorrow. Then there's a break late tomorrow evening. This system will eventually restart any rain tomorrow overnight into Halloween morning on Wednesday. But if the timing holds true, it should be dry by noon on Halloween and then stay dry through the evening. So the weather is really turning out to be much better, I think, for your trick-or-treaters and your little goblins on Wednesday evening. Cloud Rain Microcast, big story is most of our state getting rain tomorrow. Even over in Pendleton, rainfall amounts could approach about a ¼ inch tomorrow. At 4 o'clock, and if you really have to look carefully, this does actually develop a little bit of dryness in the Willamette Valley. And again, I think we have that potential for dry weather after 3 into about 9 o'clock. Tomorrow overnight, there's that cold front push of more rain coming, but that should clear out easily by Wednesday morning. And then, as I mentioned, much of the day on Wednesday now looks like it will be dry, so good news. On the Oregon coast tomorrow, of course, everybody has rain in the forecast. North Bend at 58 degrees. There has only been a trace of rain thus far up in Astoria, and you folks may not get a whole lot of rain tomorrow either. Your high temperature about 55, a small craft advisory. Winds picking up tomorrow evening up to about 30 knots from the south. Kelso 54. Heaviest rainfall amounts should be the first half of the day again. Salem tomorrow 56, a morning low of 46 degrees, and rain down in Eugene as well with a temperature of about 57. A little bit drier, or not drier, but warmer tomorrow than it was today. Government Camp 44, the snow level tomorrow at 8,000 feet. So this is rain over the passes, no problems traveling there. Bend at 52, I added the raindrops to show you what we don't get that often. That is everybody across central and eastern Oregon in the rain tomorrow. And again, amounts could be as high as a ¼ inch, even for you folks in some areas. Pendleton tomorrow 56. The Dow's the same, a low temperature of about 40 degrees, and Cascade Locks tomorrow high of about 55. Your pinpoint forecast looks like this. 50 in the morning, heaviest rain in the morning, And then that dry window perhaps by 3 o'clock into the evening. So dry at 5, but still cloudy, 55 degrees, your high temperature. The 7-day forecast shows most of Wednesday will be dry now, and certainly including Wednesday evening for Halloween, so terrific news there. Then we're dry, I think, until late Thursday with some more rain Thursday overnight, Friday morning, Saturday dry, and at this point, Sunday looks wet with a temperature of 55. And let me say that if we get that dry window tomorrow between 3 and 9 o'clock, I'll be very happy. Yeah, that'll be great.
So you're out on a limb on this one, you say?
Yeah, I may be getting a little too picky, but it sure looks like that should happen because the main push on the satellite pictures pushes in by tomorrow morning, and you can see a little disturbance. It should shoot through by, say, mid-afternoon. And it should be drier after that as our winds kick more from the west ahead of that next cold front coming in.
So this could make or break your career then, is what you're saying? You're putting it all on the line.
Probably some truth to that, actually. Yeah.
There are a lot of parents, though, cheering out there to think they might not have to walk around in the rain Halloween night with their trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, that's looking to be a pretty good bet that it will be dry Wednesday evening.
Great.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay.
Coming up, they are the best of the best in the war against terrorism.
Special Ops Forces. Just ahead, a closer look at these lethal and top-secret forces when the 10 o'clock news continues.
There's one brand of truck strong enough to carry the American spirit, Chevrolet. And right now, get 0% financing on every new truck we build. Silverado, Tahoe, Suburban, Trailblazer. The trucks behind a country that never quits. And you can own one, interest-free. Keep America rolling. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Good news from the world of science. Tests prove that clothes washed after 8 p.m. get just as clean as clothes washed before. Stay tuned for our findings on dishes.
Using electricity at night eases the pressure on the power system. So wait until 8. Portland General Electric. We all have the power to help.
Carving pumpkins is as much a part of Halloween as costumes and candy. Ever wonder how it became a tradition? A little Halloween history coming up.
What are you doing? I'm trying to compare health plans. So much to think about, I don't know where to begin.
Well, which one includes OHSU?
Of course.
And Dornbecker.
Right.
The best health plans have something in common.
Now you can help me with my math homework.
OHSU, where healing, teaching, and discovery come together.
We're the people you can depend on. For quality, it's all right here.
Presenting 2 new Oak Unlimited furniture stores in Salem and Hillsborough. Unlimited savings during this grand opening event. Choose from over 50 beautiful dining room sets, over 30 gorgeous bedroom ensembles, quality office furniture that offers a 20-year warranty, and an unlimited selection of entertainment centers. Unlimited savings at Oak Unlimited's grand opening celebration at all 3 locations. What I'm about to propose to you is both highly lucrative and highly dangerous.
You want to knock over a casino?
$150 million without breaking a sweat.
Smash and grab job, huh?
Slightly more complicated than that.
Oh, yeah.
He'll kill you, and then he'll go to work on you.
Scared? You suicidal?
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief.
Checking batteries?
Ocean's 11, rated PG-13, starts Friday, December 7th.
Welcome back. Special Forces troops are already conducting ground operations in Afghanistan.
These covert operations are the domain of the elite special operations units. Each arm of the military has one, from SEALs to Green Berets. They are units who have been trained over and above. They are organized in smaller groups, and they live in a world of secrets. They're usually the first in, and they're considered the best of the best. Heather Nauert takes us inside Special Ops.
Green Berets and their British counterparts, the SAS, are trained to organize local resistance, giving willing fighters the expertise and the material needed to win. Their advice could give the Northern Alliance a more unified and clear focus, while also coordinating their ground attacks with airstrikes.
We have seen some movement of what we believe to be the al-Qaeda forces, and they have been specifically targeted while they were moving.
Information can also come from Navy SEALs. While their name suggests they need water to operate, these elite commandos are just as lethal on land. Inserted on reconnaissance gathering missions, SEAL teams might set up camouflaged observation posts. After identifying targets, units call in attack aircraft. The bombs even guided in by forces on the ground. Those soldiers are then able to provide accurate damage assessment and enemy reaction.
There were two objectives separated by some distance, and they were struck in a coordinated manner.
Army Rangers that made the assault on Afghanistan represent the entry-level special ops. Operating in larger units, they specialize at lightning assaults on airfields or urban areas. Like all these units, Rangers excel at night, and when they jumped from the doors of an Air Force MC-130, they had the help of Air Force Special Operations units. These planes are able to find drop zones alone or with the help of combat control teams. These Air Force special operators are trained to infiltrate enemy territory before the primary assault, marking the drop zone so the main force can land on target. Then there's the Delta Force, a unit so secret the Pentagon refuses to even discuss its existence. Reportedly, these men specialize in counterterrorism operations, like assaulting buildings and airliners in order to take prisoners or rescue hostages. The men of Special Operations know their lives are at risk. Each one of them has volunteered for the job, spent grueling hours training for the needs we are now seeing as we continue to fight the war on terror.
The first special operators are said to have entered Afghanistan just days after the September 11th attacks. Phase 2 of the war on terror began on October 20th when men of the Army's 75th Ranger Regiment entered Afghanistan.
Well, it is an annual tradition carving a pumpkin for Halloween.
Yeah, but where exactly did the art of jack-o'-lanterns come from? We're scooping out the gook to get to the bottom of this pumpkin history mystery.
Plus, we're taking you to a movie premiere with monsters. But don't worry, these guys are pretty harmless.
Now let's take a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers, starting with Monday night's drawing for Oregon Megabucks, 7, 12, 19, 20, 25, and 40.
And win for life, 30, 46, 49, 53. Good luck.
A good horror story. It all began several months ago. Can scare almost anyone. We were hit. But before this tale ends, there's been a mysterious stowaway had come aboard. Real terror will strike on the next Star Trek Voyager.
Tonight on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
Want to get a great $6 restaurant burger without the restaurant? The $6 burger, $3.95 at Carl's Jr.
Skiers, Subaru's Ski Fever and Snowboard Show is back at the Portland Expo Center this Friday through Sunday. Don't miss Subaru's Ski Fever and Snowboard Show.
This isn't easy.
You can do it.
I hope so.
With our help, you'll be amazed at how high you can climb.
Are your company's employees prepared for the latest information technology? New Horizons Computer Learning Centers can help you and your team to climb higher.
What if I start to slip?
You won't. We'll be with you all the way.
New Horizons Computer Learning Centers of Oregon and Southwest Washington, helping to train the work teams of tomorrow, today.
It's a new dawn in America. Things are different now. And there is a group of people going to work, building America every day. Men and women who symbolize the best America has to offer. Over 80% of America's construction trades are merit contractors, individuals who believe in freedom and free enterprise. Building America in this new dawn has new meaning, and the Associated Builders and Contractors are proud to help lead the way.
On Wall Street, the Dow dropped 275 points to close at 92.69. The NASDAQ was off 69 to 16.99. The 10 o'clock news returns in just a moment.
And Nelson is ready to make a statement about his unexpected move to Rosie 105. And here he is.
Together again, the Guess Who, Burton Cummings, Randy Bachman, and Gary Peterson. The American Woman Tour, the Guess Who Reunion. November 1st, on stage at the Rose Garden Arena. With special guest Joe Cocker. Get research seat tickets now at the Rose Quarter Ticket Office, all Ticketmaster locations, on the web, or charge by phone. The Guess Who.
Everyone's working together to get things moving again. Here's our contribution. 0% financing on most Chrysler cars and minivans. And if you buy now, no monthly payments for 90 days. Now it's never been easier to drive home a new Chrysler car or minivan. So take advantage of these great offers. It's our way of helping move things forward again. See your local Chrysler dealer today.
All right. Nelson has composed himself and is ready to make a statement on his move to Rosie 105.
I'm going to keep this brief.
Sammy, the corporate executive?
The newest member of the corporate softball team?
Nope, a dead ringer on the next Cheers.
Tonight on KPTV, Oregon's 12.
Ask any child and they'll tell you Halloween is as much about pumpkin carving as it is about candy and monsters.
But the pumpkin tradition has only been around in this country since the last century. KPTV's David Wilson joins us now with more on the history of Halloween and its relationship to pumpkins. Dave?
We have the Irish to thank for our modern-day jack-o'-lanterns. When Irish immigrants began flooding this country near the end of the 1800s, they brought with them their ancient traditions. Today's jack-o'-lanterns actually began with the hollowing out of turnips, not pumpkins. To Nick and Patrick Joe,
hey Nick, look, I'm carrying your pumpkin.
Pumpkins are as much about Halloween as candy and monsters.
Heavy pumpkin.
And now it's carving time. Serious business.
And then you could like carve eyes. And then like that.
But before any cutting comes several minutes of planning.
You could stick sticks inside. So it's like hair. I was gonna make a goblin with a long nose, like a kind of evil smile on his face.
But what do pumpkins have to do with Halloween?
I think it's something to do that they grow near Halloween, so there's something kind of useful and they're hollow.
Absolutely. But a similar practice dates back centuries to an Irish legend.
There was a man named Jack who was a renowned drunkard and a miscreant and a liar.
According to Celtic historian Shandine O'Neill Sampson, Jack was such a bad person that when he died, the devil didn't even want him. Satan made Jack wander the earth alone forever.
But I'll give you something to light your way. So he tossed him an old turnip and a lump of coal, burning coal, and he's like, there you go, there's a lantern to light your way.
Then for centuries, during harvest time, the Irish placed hollowed-out turnip lanterns near their homes in remembrance of Jack.
And they'd leave it on their porch to light poor Jack's way as he wandered. But others, fearing Jack, would carve the scary faces in the turnip to ward him away from their household. And
when the Irish immigrated to the U.S. in the late 1800s, Americans adopted their traditions.
But turnips weren't as readily available as the pumpkins were here in the United States, and so they adjusted their vegetable from a turnip into a bigger pumpkin.
Celtic traditions have also influenced other aspects of Halloween. Before Christianity was the pagan holiday All Souls Day. The Irish believed that the night before, November 1st, you could communicate with your dead ancestors. They wore masks to scare off evil spirits and, of course, placed their hollowed-out turnip lanterns on their front porches for Jack. Hence, we have the jack-o'-lantern right here.
Aptly named.
And the Celtic New Year begins Halloween night, and there are several Irish pubs around town that are celebrating this. Biddy McGraw's over in Northeast Portland being one of them. Big celebration going on there.
Did you carve this one?
I did. Yeah, Pete and I
want
did.
to show you something though, because the other ones were all clean and shiny. Look at this one. I was noticing they washed theirs. The family on the front.
Yeah, wait a minute. There's a hole in the back. Do you have a mistake too?
Yeah, what was that about?
That's for the camera light to go in because we didn't have candles.
Good idea.
We think of everything.
You guys are so
television production, the magic of TV.
Great story. Really interesting,
yeah,
David. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, your eyes weren't deceiving you. That was a witch conducting the Portland Youth Philharmonic Conservatory Orchestra tonight. Can we hear them? There they are. And all of her musicians dressed up for the occasion. They performed a Halloween-themed concert for family and friends. All of the musicians from the Conservatory Orchestra are from Northwest Oregon and Southwest Washington. They are accepted on a competitive basis. Last Friday, we asked you if you will let your kids trick-or-treat this year. Here's how you answered our 12 Talkback Online poll. 37% said yes. If the kids are chaperoned, 33% said no, and 28% said yes.
Well, finally, a movie you can take the kids to see. Monsters, Inc. opens up on Friday. It was created by the same team that brought you Toy Story and A Bug's Life. John Goodman stars in the film as a huge monster with blue fur and large purple spots. Billy Crystal plays his roommate, a green monster that's has just one big eye, if you've seen the commercials. But scaring kids is not such an easy job because these monsters believe children are toxic, so they have to avoid direct contact with them. Again, Monsters, Inc. opens this Friday.
Looks cute.
I got the Disney catalog, and it is just packed
full of stuff.
All the stuff from Monsters,
That'll be the Christmas toys,
yes,
holiday toys.
I bet it will be.
Final look at the weather forecast just ahead with Rod Hill.
And in sports, a record-setting day for one Oregon Duck earns him honors. Tim Becker with that and more when we come back.
Hurry, he's in the study.
Come on! ER, we have a male, mid-30s, shortness of breath, dilated pupils, and bruised fists, over.
It's 56K rage. Start him on MSN broadband, powered by Quest.
Roger that, ER.
Here's the speed you need.
With the higher speed of Quest, he'll see the internet as it was meant to be.
Order high-speed internet from Quest and get 2 months free when you have custom choice, as well as free modem use and free activation. Make your internet more useful.
Quest. Why didn't we get it sooner?
Quest. Ride the light.
Oh, look at that. Look at the little Nature Sweet tomatoes. What's the matter? You afraid to leave your mama's vine?
Oh, you're just bitter because they taste homegrown and you don't.
Hey, who you calling bitter?
Listen, only Nature Sweet brand tomatoes taste as fresh as homegrown tomatoes, and that's because they ripen on that vine.
If you're so smart, Smarty Pants, where's your vine, huh?
Pears grow on trees.
Well, I knew that. Nature Sweet tomatoes. They taste homegrown because they ripen on that vine.
At the Home Depot, we're driving down the cost of home improvement. With special buys like $8.85 for a 2-pack of these long-lasting fluorescent light bulbs from Commercial Electric. We bought over 1 million so you can get all you need at a great price. Just look for the hammer symbol. It means we've got lower prices. Nailed.
It's the peace of mind that comes with a 4-year, 50,000-mile bumper-to-bumper limited warranty and complimentary scheduled maintenance. But most of all, it's the peace of mind that comes with knowing it will never be mistaken for anything else on the road. The Jaguar S-Type. Lease one for just $4.99 a month.
The $4.99 Jaguar lease from Monty Shelton Motors, 16th and West Branson.
Excited about the season, huh? Yeah, you bet I am. Gonna be a while. Season doesn't start till October 31st. Grab a seat.
Get your seats to the Blazers opening night game. Tickets are on sale now. Call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or log on to Blazers.com.
One in the game? Yeah.
Tonight's sports report on the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by AAA, where membership means more.
Everyone knows AAA can save you from a breakdown. You knew that, didn't you? But AAA can also save you money on a little slice of paradise. I think you'll love that. Plus, show your card and save on everything from specs to restaurants to hotels. Excuse me. Waiter, my towel, please. Hey, get this. AAA even has auto and homeowners insurance. Is there more to say? Oh, yeah. So call AAA because membership means more.
Now sports with Tim Becker.
Well, it was the best single-game performance by an Oregon running back ever. Ontario Smith's big day up in the Palouse has helped the Ducks move back up to number 10 in today's BCS rankings used to determine who will play for a national championship. Smith ran for 285 yards on 26 carries. That's an average of 11 yards
every time he touched the football. He also scored all 3 of the Ducks' touchdowns in their 24-17 win over Wazoo, an effort that has earned him the title of Pac-10 Offensive Player of the Week, of course. The rest of the BCS race looks like this today. Nebraska taking over the top spot from Oklahoma. Miami moves up a spot to number 3, followed by Michigan and Texas. Pac-10 teams, here you go. Stanford's win over UCLA moves them up 8 spots to number 6. The Bruins drop to 9th, Oregon up to 10, followed by Washington and Washington State. NFL tonight, Pittsburgh sticks it to Tennessee. Second quarter, Cordell Stewart somehow passes to Hines Ward to snap a 7-all tie. Stewart also runs for a touchdown. Early fourth quarter, around the bend, Steelers run their record to 5-1, beating the Titans 34-7. There's word tonight on the eve of the Blazers season opener against the Lakers that talks between AT&T Cable and Action Sports Cable Network have broken off. You see, ASCN is scheduled to carry 25 Blazer games this season. The new cable network is currently carried on some 20 other cable systems statewide, but not by AT&T, which serves about 500,000 people in the Portland metro area. ASCN claims they had a deal in principle with AT&T to start carrying their programming, but the cable company backed out of that agreement this morning.
Well, I don't know if there's animosity. It's basically, you know, we're going to go our separate ways, and we're frankly, again, we're very mystified. We had an agreement, and then it got thrown out the window, and so frankly, we're trying to figure out where we go now. Mystified as to what's happening.
ASCN officials blame a change in management at AT&T for the change in plans, but a spokeswoman for AT&T told me tonight that there was never a handshake agreement between the two companies. AT&T claims that ASCN is asking for more compensation than other sports networks are now paying to cable carriers. She says they'd have to increase standard cable rates just to cover the costs if they agreed to ASCN's asking price. As for the game itself, before it tips off tomorrow, the Lakers will get their championship rings right in front of the Blazers, and you know the Portland team would just love to spoil that kind of a night in L.A.
Just have to, you know, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a lot of emotion. It's going to be a lot of pumped up. The other team's going to see that. They're going to be pissed off. They're going to be hitting shots. So, you know, hopefully we could, you know, start off on the right foot. But one game doesn't win a championship for another team.
So tomorrow night's going to be our first and last time to really have to celebrate the championship run in front of our fans. And, you know, after that, it's time to get down to business.
Tip-off tomorrow, 7:30. Hey, meantime, this coming Friday, Gresham's Randy Couture going to step back into the old octagon in Las Vegas to defend his title in the sport of ultimate fighting. Randy is the reigning world heavyweight champ, has a perfect record of 6-0. He trains in Gresham alongside another man from here. That would be Matt Lindland, who will be fighting Friday as well. There's Matt. Neither of them has tasted defeat yet in the rough-and-tumble sport. A tough way to earn a living, a job that predictably comes with a lot of anxiety each time they go to work in the ring.
It's an interesting combination of fear and adrenaline. When the cage door closes, you're not sure if you want to climb the fence and run away or turn and face the guy you're supposed to fight. It's everything gets real narrow. You don't hear anything else. You don't see anything else, just that guy across the octagon from you. And it's very, very intense.
Rod is sitting there saying he smacked him upside the head. Well, that's what they do. That's why Randy is a winner, 6-0 so far. He will not be fighting Matt, by the way. Matt is at a different weight class. Randy, though, fighting the same guy that he beat last time a few months ago.
Do they make a lot of money getting...
Randy makes a living fighting about 2 or 3 times a year, makes a very good living, he says.
You'd hope so.
You'd hope so.
The living tar beaten out of him.
Got to keep a doctor on retainer, but other than that, it's a good deal.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, Rodney.
I'll give you my day job. Take a look at wake-up weather. Rain has already picked up, actually, so as we go home tonight from the news, we will need our umbrellas. 48 to 53 in the morning. It will be raining. Could be coming down pretty good tomorrow morning. Sunrise at 6:47.
All right, thanks, Rod.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for joining us.
Good night.
In February, Utah will resonate with the sounds of Olympic competition. Until then, it's all yours. Utah, official playground before, during, and after the 2002 Olympic Winter Games.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to compare health plans. So much to think about, I don't know where to begin.
Well, which one includes OHSU?
Of course.
And Dornbecker.
Right.
The best health plans have something in common.
Now you can help me with my math homework.
OHSU, where healing, teaching, and discovery come together.
It's time to rake in the savings from AT&T Broadband. Get up to 200 channels, including Showtime and Stars, plus free installation and over $100 in savings. Enjoy great TV this fall with a pile of cable favorites, all your local channels, and our handy on
one calling plan.
Hey, Mom, Crimson or Candy Apple Red?
With up to 4 separate lines.
Is 20 feet enough?
Hurry in and buy one Nokia phone for $29.99 and get up to 3 free with activation.
Honey, do we need an extra hand?
And now get an extra 3,000 night and weekend minutes to share. Just call 1-800-2-JOIN-IN today. Now that's something the whole family can get excited about. Verizon Wireless. Join in.
A little bit of exercise goes a long way. So call 1-800-FITNESS and get all Bally has to offer for as little as $5 to start. Plus, get a copy of the hit single A Little Bit from Jessica Simpson's new album, Irresistible. Little bit goes a long way. It's as little as $5 to start. Call Bally Total Fitness now.
Baby, at the end of the day, a little bit goes a long way.
Everyone knows AAA can save you from a breakdown. You knew that, didn't you? But AAA can also save you money on a little slice of paradise. I think you'll love that. Plus, show your card and save on everything from specs to restaurants to hotels. Excuse me. Waiter, my towel, please. Hey, get this. AAA even has auto and homeowners insurance. Is there more to say? Oh, yeah. So call AAA because membership means more.